Going live. Yeah, we're live.
Yeah.
Hey, hello, audience, people in internet land. How's it going? Welcome to Rascal Comedy. I'm your host, Jack Mack. Welcome. Sorry about the hair. Got caught in the rain at a house viewing. Luckily, I was wearing a cap, so he didn't see that, the landlord. So welcome to the show. The way it works is I bring on a few comedians, we have a bit of a chat, and then they do some comedy. So kind of think of it like a mix between Ellen and the Rose of Tralee. Being like Ellen in the sense that sometimes I'll talk over the guests as well. So a bit of comedy for you guys. Realise Dublin is a bit of a rough place. You know, there's a lot of pests on the streets looking around, especially on Moore Street, judging you, wanting something off you. Of course, I'm talking about the seagulls. I don't know what you were talking about, you sir, in the front. Like the other day, I went for lunch with some of the lads at work, you know, and when I was walking down Henry Street, the seagull came and took whatever I had in my hand out of my hand, which really pissed me off. Has that ever happened to you? Because that was a new iPhone. I just believe that the seagulls are the Peaky Blinders of Dublin. You know, there's like a lot of them, and they take whatever they want when they want. That's why people leave bags of rubbish outside their house. It's protection money. So they, you know, don't come after them. But the birds that annoy me the most are the pigeons. I hate pigeons. I just hate how socially awkward they are. And they're just full of anxiety, I find. And they're like, you're there walking down the street, and they're just there in the middle of you, like, and you're trying to walk around them, and they're the only bird that will just fly at you like a landmine. It'll just explode, like, and just come at you. That doesn't make sense. Why is it flying at you? Like, that's like if someone was trying to rob you with a knife and you tried to go around them, you know? Yeah, that's my bird rant. So we'll bring on the other comedians. If I can remember how to do it. Hey, there we go. How we doing, guys?
Good. How are you?
Good, how are you, man?
All right. Sure, look, you'll have that. Isn't that right? Huh?
Sure, this is it.
See, Gillian's a
now
former,
you've said
a fellow culture. So she gets it.
I get what you're saying.
Actually, do we have any dubs? Do we have any dubs in? No, good.
No.
Good. Coming with their Dublin privilege, you know. Yeah.
I'm from Kerry. I'm from as well.
You from Kerry?
those civilized fucks.
I'm also from Kerry.
With their transport and their clean water. I just
Fucking road train.
I realized I didn't tell you the running order.
Fucking...
So you're all like,
no,
right. Well, we've got Ronan first.
On edge.
Ronan, you're first.
Woo!
How are you?
Great, brilliant. I'm good, man. How are you? I'm a bit hungover, but you know, I'm always hungover, so
that's worrying. Do you want to talk about it live on air?
Yeah. So yeah, I was out last night. I was out drinking with my mates, and next thing I know, I woke up at home. So it must have been a good night. Which is the usual. When I woke up, my friends always say that no matter like how drunk I am, I'll always find my way home. We were in Edinburgh last year, and we just drank far too much. When I woke up the next morning, my mate was like, "Geez, Ronan, I'm surprised you're not back in bed in Galway."
Nice.
Good one. And like, what's your drink? What's your poison?
Buckfast, man.
Oh,
proper Galway drink.
You don't mess around, my friend.
You can't mess around with Buckfast.
No, it's that's a hard one. I think I had it once when I was 18, and I was like, no, it's not for me, darling. I'm more of a Prosecco man.
No. Prosecco, you can't beat that in fairness.
Cheerful. Little's finest.
€4
How
Prosecco.
are you finding? I know, yeah, exactly. Well, it's cheaper than Buckfast. How are you finding? Well, Buckfast is a wine, isn't it?
It's a tonic wine, yeah. It's made by monks.
Just depends how you.
The problem with Buckfast is you have to factor in all your fines.
You what?
The problem with Buckfast is you have to factor in all your fines.
All right.
I think it depends how you drink it. If you're drinking it in like from the bottle, you look rough. But if you're drinking a nice flute glass,
You fancy.
yeah.
There's no fancy way
Yeah.
to drink Buckfast.
Imagine,
Yeah, there
like,
isn't at all.
Imagine
All
being at a
the
restaurant.
class
and
died
the
with the
waiter
monk.
comes over. How would you like it?
Take leads on your liver, like.
And how have you been finding lockdown, Ronan? Is it good?
Yeah, man, it's been grand. I moved into a new apartment recently enough. I was out in the countryside for like the first 10 weeks and I was sick of it. So I found a place in the middle of Galway City and it's going great. It's, the usual things of moving in, like kind of missing a home, bringing everything in. My housemate took the door off the fridge last week. It's all going well.
As you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, it was like just it's the fridge opens from the opposite way as any other fridge we're used to. So she like went to just open it that way, and I turn around, and the fridge door is just in her hands, and we're
How
all kind of
strong
looking
is
at each
she?
other like,
Yeah, is she like a weightlifter?
Yeah. She really wanted to
She's
prove
in-
she could not wait.
she really wanted it. Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Wow. Well. And where were you in the countryside?
I was from my Cullen. It's about 15 minutes outside of Galway City. So
Oh, right.
I was like, couldn't leave the village at all. So once I had the chance to get into Galway, I was like, I'm not coming back.
I know. I felt like living and growing up in rural Ireland was like being in quarantine. I just felt like we're just back to normal, back to the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Ronan, are you ready to hit the stage? Wow, everybody!
I am. Let's
What I'll
go
do
for
is
it.
I'm gonna activate your Instagram handle, so you'll have that there. So everybody at home, want you a big round of applause, even if you're on your own in your room. Just start clapping, right? Just start clapping for Ronan Clancy. Woo!
Hi. Hello, everyone. So last year I finished college, and for a couple of months after it, I was kind of wandering around thinking to myself, what am I going to do now? I just finished an arts degree. What's the next step I can take to disappoint my parents? So I started doing stand-up comedy. I originally went into college wanting to be a teacher until I just realized I don't like children. I'm afraid of them in more than groups of two. But I have found parallels between teaching and comedy. I'm one person up in front of a huge group and I'm just desperate for them all to like me. But these parallels have confused me. So at like my very first gig, hosted by Jack Hourigan and Mattress, I was heckled by an old man, and I responded with, "If you want to speak, you need to put your hand up." And then on the opposite side of that, I actually got the chance to teach a class back in college, and there was one guy who was just really disruptive. And instead of telling him that he needed to put his hand up, I went into comedy mode. And I told him that I wrote his mother.
Nice.
But so I say I don't like kids. I actually have 2 younger siblings, and I love them to bits. But I'm unsure if my brother likes me. I always feel like I have to do all the talking, and I have to ask all the questions. And people may say, it's like, Ronan, you're just being paranoid. He's 3 months old. He can't speak English. But I still think there's a bit of tension. But him and my sister are really young. So I get to teach them things. Just last week, I was going over the animal noises with my sister. So, the usual ones. The cow says moo. The horse says neigh. The duck says quack. The pig says, I don't have to wear a face mask. Corona's not real. Yeah. So that's me. Thanks very much.
Woo!
Woo! Ronan Clancy, solo mode. Oh, there we go.
Oh, no.
Hang on. Oh yeah, and also you at home can comment and heckle. Happy heckles now, not angry heckles. There's too much hate in the world. This isn't Twitter. You can't just spread your crap to us. We're very
Sam
fragile
Ferry
people,
is
comedians.
enjoying.
Oh, that's my mate Sam.
Hang on. It's not letting me oh, here we go. Oh yeah, Sam Ferry. Oh, he liked it. There we go. Can we get him up? There. Ha 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 ha. See? He liked it there. Good man, Sam. He'll like that reference.
LMAO.
Right. So next we've got Gillian. Gillian, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
good. No, good. Can't. I'm kind of
complain.
missing lockdown. But,
Yeah.
I can
me too.
complain, but nobody would listen.
Are you back to work, Jack? Did I see that on your Instagram? Your uniform is too small for you or something?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I put on a bit of muscle and fat. Yeah, I was
Getting ready for the
squeezing in.
winter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was. I had to go out and buy a new blazer.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. How are you
That's
been?
really funny.
Have you been
I'm
in Kerry?
grand. No, didn't go to Kerry now at all. Didn't go down there now at all. I
What's
did
this?
also. I also moved house during a lockdown. And I was here about a day, maybe 2 days, and someone got arrested outside my bedroom door, my bedroom window, my bedroom door, my housemate.
Oh, I said, what? In your house?
No, my bedroom window.
It was my flatmate.
Yeah, someone got
Tried to
arrested.
steal the fridge door.
Yeah.
So I clearly moved to great area. But yeah, that's kind of all I did during lockdown, really. But yeah, it's been grand. I think I'll miss it as well. I think I'll miss it. I did like the Leo books.
This thing where I don't touch and I get free money.
This is it, and now
I
they
see
want me
you're-
to
you've
work for
started-
my money. Bullshit.
Fucking shite. Fucking what? I don't like this. No. I see you started is it a podcast?
Oh, I started a podcast. Yeah. It's called Fitz and Starts with my friend who also does comedy over in London. His name's Alan. Yeah, I guess I was just one of the other comedians that just started a podcast during lockdown.
That's it. Jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, me and you started one, didn't you?
I did.
Jack-
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Jack my check.
Yeah.
Good.
We all
Thanks
just,
for plugging me.
You're welcome. Got each other's backs. Yeah, so I started a podcast. So episode 4 comes out Thursday. So it's just on YouTube at the moment. But yeah, it's just the two of us having the chats, really talking absolute shite. But I think it's kind of funny.
As long as then your fans can listen to you instead of like Liveline or RTE radio. That's the way I see it.
Exactly. That's how I see it as well.
Yeah.
It got me through lockdown.
listening
Got me through lockdown.
Yeah, I know, and like it's funny how like you just rant at a microphone, and then people are like, "Yeah, loved it, brilliant."
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, thanks. It was real deep. Yeah, it's a bit like, when English teachers read a poem and then they start telling you all the different meanings, and you're like, I'm sure the writer meant all of those.
Yeah. Yeah, Sylvia Plath's
Absolutely.
curtains meant depression. I get you.
Yeah. I see it. We're clicking.
Yeah. No, podcasts are good. I think, like, especially in the internet age, like, let's use these tools because, like, if you wanted to be on radio, you'd have to like turn up to Midwest Radio and like beg them.
I know. I was just thinking about that earlier as well. I was like, whose idea was the first podcast? Like, how do you market that? How do you go into someone and be like, I think me talking for an hour is exactly what the people want?
Like, no.
This is very obnoxious of you, but sure, look, we're all doing it now.
Sure, look at Joe Rogan, 100 million to Spotify.
I know. Insane.
That could be you, Gillian.
That could be you, Jack.
It could be us.
It could be us.
And other Jack. So Jack Hourigan has a
Would you say
podcast. What's
I
your
wouldn't-
call again? Tropic.
Yeah.
What's your podcast?
Sorry?
Safe,
What's your podcast called again?
safe topics.
Oh, safe,
Oh yeah, I know you said
safe
Tropic.
topics, boys.
Oh.
Nice big wide umbrella. Everything is
I
a
like
nice safe topic.
Nice. I like that.
But also it's quite like
That's
adventurous and it has got a bit of tooth in it.
Sorry?
I said, but it's quite adventurous.
Oh,
We'll
I literally heard you say something about teeth. This connection's fucked.
That's right. That's
But
right.
hey,
That's right. Jill, are you ready to hit the stage?
Sure.
Virtual stage. All right.
I'll just rant for a minute if that's okay.
Yeah, have a rant. Right. Let's set you up. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Gillian Fitz.
Yay! Woo!
Yeah!
Crowd goes wild. It's so weird to just see myself on a big screen. But anyway, hello. I am Gillian, and I went back to work full time today. which is very upsetting. Thank you. I'm quite upset about it because I did get very used to the whole lockdown life. And I work in a cafe. And the first order that I got when I walked in the door was a lady came in and she was like, can I get a 1-shot decaf, low fat, no chocolate cappuccino? And I was just a bit like, you've essentially just asked me for hot milk. And I just think that people like that shouldn't be left out of lockdown. I feel like that might be a bit mean, but I feel like if that's how you order your coffee, you need to stay inside. You're not good for society. That's just how I feel. But yeah, I'm not about it. I do miss just sitting around doing nothing. I did get a boyfriend before lockdown as well. Thank you. But I started going out with him about 4 seconds before lockdown happened. So it was a little bit like, when you went to school, you were like on your summer holidays and you went back to school in September and you're like telling everyone that you got your first shift and people are like, oh, who was it? And you're like, no, I was on holiday. I swear he's real. I swear. That's kind of how it felt. But people are meeting him in real life now, so it's kind of okay. Although he does keep joking that he's going to break up with me on like the 20th. Isn't it 20th of July that like lockdown's over? He keeps joking that he's going to go back on Bumble when lockdown's over, which I don't appreciate. But yeah, that's me, guys.
Oh, there's my. Okay, how do I get out of this? How do I do it? Oh, there it is.
I mean, I'm okay with me being on full screen the whole time.
Hey, we're just trapped on Gillian's face. I mean, if he does go back and Bumble after the lockdown, like dating is going to be tough. Like you're going to have to wear protection in so many different ways.
I'm so glad that I literally locked someone down before this happened. Like, my good God, I'd hate to be dating right now. Yeah, like dating is bad. Yeah, dating was bad enough. Like, and now you have to keep your full 2 meters, wear a mask. Like, no, thank you. I'm not meeting a lad off the internet wearing a full mask. Like, no, he's definitely going to kill me, and I can't identify him. I'm dead, but I can't identify him anyway.
What did he look like? He had lovely blue eyes.
Yeah, the eyes on him, lads.
He had shaved head. Yeah, no, I think it's like you couldn't touch them. You just have to or you have to take the risk. Like, I just took the risk,
Yeah,
took
just
the
went
mask
for it.
off.
Like, went for it. Gave her COVID. She's dead now.
Yeah.
Should have risked it. Right,
I took it off. I wasn't thinking I was drunk. I'm trying to get to the comments, but it's not letting me.
Oh.
Fuck the comments. Oh yeah, here we go.
Siobhan and Stephen Ryan are just talking away about fucking birthdays and everything in the comments.
Yeah, I wanted to say that. So Stephen Ryan goes, oh, hi, Siobhan. Siobhan goes, hey, Stephen. Stephen's like, did you have a nice birthday? She said, lovely, thank you.
Happy birthday,
not the place.
And he said, that's good.
I feel like they might go on a fucking Tinder date after this.
Or I'd be like, sorry, are we bored?
Yeah.
I'll be watching that.
Fucking, Siobhan's birthday, we're getting a fucking handle put into the shower there tomorrow. Can't wait.
Happy birthday, Ross.
Right, Jesus. Right, so moving on to Anthony. Anthony, how are you?
How are you now? This is such a weird feel. It's like you're all in a band and you're video calling me to tell me I'm out because the labels say I don't match the label.
Listen, actually, that's why we rang you. See, that's why Anthony,
after the last album, bro.
You didn't make the cut. You got too drunk.
Plus, Stephen Ryan and Siobhan, that's like the emojis. Not good, man. Not good, Jack.
He's funnier. I just have to accept it. I'd understand.
The only way to fix it, or the only way to sort it out, is a roast battle.
Oh, no, you're all right.
Next episode,
I like
comedy, guys.
Takes all my energy to get this much enthusiasm together. I can't spare any.
A roast battle over like video is just people being really mean to each other. it just seems so much like meaner with them just hurling insults at each other over things.
We
What
should
now?
do that.
Cyberbullying.
We could set that up. We could do that.
Cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying, yeah.
That's what it is. It's just cyberbullying.
Your mama jokes over Zoom. Yeah. So, Anthony, what have you been getting up to in these last crazy months?
I've just been working, really. That's the sad part. I've one of those jobs where it's not a real job, so you can do it at home, and it means I've been working through the entire thing.
Oh, accountant, huh?
So that's it.
Oh.
Oh yeah. I can pull off an accountant. Yeah, that's
Yeah, you just count the business's money and then tell them. They're like, oh, wow. What's your job?
Me near the money. I work. I do. This is my set, but you're fucking. I do call center work. I work high-end call center work.
That must be tough. I made a complaint to Bus Aaron the other day, and I just thought, like, I'm basically like just bitching to this person about their company.
Yeah, and if you're doing that, you're actually talking to me in my underwear eating Cocoa Pops.
You won't
Young
recognize
singles
your
in your area.
Yeah. Hey, babe.
Yeah, putting people on mute so you can drink the milk.
Yeah.
That could be a business idea. If you've got a complaint about our business, people just love moaning. They'd be like, I'd like to.
Yeah. Sponsored by Cocoa Pops.
Sponsored
Yeah.
by, yeah.
One moment there, please hold. Just fucking
What?
put them on hold so you can drink the milk. Just one moment there, please.
I got a weird impression of a Kerry man. Like,
That's the Kerry man at the city. That's the Kerry man interacting with the city. Sorry.
Stephen Murphy goes, I was wondering what the crunching was the last time I was on the phone to you.
Stephen's a mate of mine and Jack's, so he's
Hi, Steve.
he's a really
Steve is
Morning,
watching
Stephen.
you. He can't reply, but
I'll be chatting to him.
he's there. He's there in your heart. So, Anthony, were you telling me you'll have a gig when the pandemic isn't on?
Yeah, myself and Leslie Martinez. She's a comedian from Venezuela who works in Cork, and the two of us are kind of co-running a gig in the Bridge Bar called Lost in Translation, because she couldn't understand me when we talk, so we got Lost in Translation. But it's a nice club, and we run kind of like it's 2 nights a month. On Thursdays, we're going to try and get it back up and running as quickly as possible after things get back to normal. But that's if you're ever.
And what's
Cork,
the name of the
Lost in Translation? Lost in Translation.
Sorry.
In the Bridge Bar. Yeah, it's a long name.
Bar?
Oh no, we've lost
no,
Jack.
Jack's gone.
Oh no, what do we do?
This is my chance. Okay, welcome to the podcast.
I'm an idiot.
How are you doing, Jack?
I could hear you say we lost Jack, and I thought I was disconnected. I was like,
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
What happened there?
I feel like that was like when you lose your
All right,
parents.
guys, stop bitching about Jack. Guys.
I was like, what?
get your one and done. Get your one and done with the intercom. There's a child at the customer service.
Can Jack? Yeah. Can Jack McKenna please come to customer service?
Okay, if this happens to me, like someone has to take the reins of the show.
Oh god, I just full on panicked.
Oh god.
That I was not going to do it.
We were lost,
No,
man. We were
The
lost.
second time I did this show, I forgot to charge my laptop, so it just went boom,
No.
and I was gone for like 5 minutes
Oh no.
during Felix's sets. Felix was doing a set, and then boom, gone.
Oh god.
I know, poor
That's very
Felix. And then I
Did he
just
just
popped
think
up.
he had to go along?
He did not know, but then it took him out of his solo screen, and then not just the comedians were there like, should we stay on or what?
Yeah. Did Jack give up on his own show?
Yeah. He just didn't believe in it.
Yeah.
Were we
that's
that
very funny.
bad?
Yeah, he was like, I can't do this.
Can't do this anymore. I'm trying to get your Instagram handled up, and it just won't. Oh, here we go. There we go. Great. So, Anthony, are you ready to hit the stage?
No.
People. No. Well, you're going on.
You're fine. You're fine.
Righto. You're ready? I'm gonna launch you on. There we go.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Yay!
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm face to face with myself here. It's kind of daunting. So I work in call center, as I was mentioning, and lately I've just been kind of working from home. So like what I do is I pretend to work for another company. So like my job is pretending to work in another job where I care about the hate mail that comes in. And it's like the inception of jobs. Like it was directed by Christopher Nolan. It's as if I went into my my guidance counselor and said, I've got imposter syndrome. And he was like, I got just the ticket. Call center work. It's very enjoyable. The one thing I do love about call center work, it allowed me to fulfill a childhood dream, which is I got to get my childhood imaginary friend a job. He's my supervisor. His name is Victor. If you ring up somebody and give out to them long enough, you'll get to talk to him. Hello, I'm Victor. What is problem? Oh yeah, so like the one thing I do find is sometimes I'll be on the phone to somebody and they'll be talking and I start doing other things while they're talking. But the other day I found myself on the phone to a guy while he was giving out to me, and at the same time I had my phone out, my mobile, and I was on live chat with another company. So he was giving out to me, I was giving out to this guy. It was just like a menage a trois of misery. And that's my minute.
Woo!
Yeah.
Anthony, and you can follow Anthony on his Instagram handle, Anthony R Comedian. You can follow him on Insta for all the viewers out there. You can follow him.
I post all
You
the time.
reminded me
Check out my TikTok
when
as
you were
well,
saying
guys.
about. Oh, you're on TikTok. I love TikTok. I just
No,
got.
I'm
Oh, I just
not
got a
on
TikTok. Oh, I thought you were. I was excited for a second.
I
You
do
reminded me.
dances.
You know, you said you were on the phone, but then you were also. Did you ever see the video of a fella rang two Garda stations and he put them together?
Oh yeah, I love that.
I love that shit.
I
And they're like-
went to college in Sligo, and that was like the big thing when we were in college. I just showed
Prank
my
calling
age.
Garda
I feel
stations.
like I'm grooming you, Jack.
Prank calling Garda stations. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they all
You know-
where they prank call a Chinese restaurant and had them read the order back to them.
And that was the prank, was it?
It was hilarious at the time. Yeah, they got to read back the whole order. But it was a really long order, so it took a long time. And then they had to go. They went, "No, are you looking for this, or do you want to buy this?" And it became a big viral video hit.
Just read, yeah.
Oh, God.
Just read out the menu and see what they say. We have the whole menu.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we've come to our headliner.
Woo!
Well,
Woo!
last act. Jack Hourigan on the mattress.
Hello, my
Jack,
studio wall.
this is your third
Good
time
name
on
for
the
a
show.
band.
Yeah, man, third time. How many did you do? This is 6, is it?
This
Fuck.
is episode 6. So you've done half of the shows.
Sweet.
Yeah, but you never disappoint. So how have you been, man? How's your lockdown been? Good.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go on a bit. I was just, I like it. I didn't notice too much of a change, I didn't have too many gigs to cancel, and I just looked like an asshole ringing the open mics. People who run the open mics saying I won't be in. Yeah, not a lot going on, but I don't know. I rolled over yesterday.
You what, rolled over? Like literally?
Yeah, about 5 o'clock usually. I just kind of shift a bit and then, settle down for the evening.
You're like, right, that's enough work for me now.
Yeah, no, it's fucking exhausting.
That it is. Yeah. And I'm rolling over now to go to work. Back to the old grind, you know.
Getting it done. Perfect.
Making that dollar.
Yeah, getting it done, by. And you have a blazer. Fucking everything's coming up, Jack.
I know, yeah. Pennies. Pennies, 2014.
Pennies. Get the fuck. Go ahead.
2014.
My shit.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like that's my new brand. Like I'm like blazer guy. But then I've got a Rick and Morty t-shirt on just to stay hip with the kids.
Fucking A. Nice balancing. You balanced that well. Fair play.
Yeah.
Pickle rake. Funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah. Brilliant. Turn myself into a pickle, Morty. I'm Pickle Rick. Also,
jeez,
well,
Rick.
I just don't want to look like a complete wanker. Just, you know.
I tell you, Rick and Morty doesn't fucking even compare to South Park on mushrooms. That's a fact.
Have you seen South Park on mushrooms?
3 days ago. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Is that on Netflix?
Layers. Huh?
Oh, me?
Is South Park on Netflix?
I was like, oh, way to go. Fuck!
There's a very stressful moment when everybody looks at you like, what? And you're all like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
All those delays, all those 2-second delays are chipping away at your heart. Do you know what I mean? When the show goes on long.
Yeah.
The misery.
I think it's
no, South Park on mushrooms. You literally, like, it felt like watching a trifle. You could see the layers. Do you know what I mean?
It's like if you've ever watched Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Stoned, you can just feel the comedy. You know, when comedy is just logical.
Guys, you don't need drugs in your life. That's not cool.
You do. You're in a call center. You're the fucking poster boy for drugs on this gig, Brian. What are you saying?
He's there like,
that was my introduction.
I'm frozen.
Call centers are how that's how I happen. Call centers. It literally is what happened to me.
It was a traumatic experience.
Fetal position and bong hits. Fetal position and bong hits every night until you recover. Fact. Every week.
And do they give you the headset or is it just a phone?
I have a headset, yeah. I took it. I took it in the hope that I'd use it for sketches one day. But it's just down there.
I've done that.
Yeah, no. You get them back with things like, you know, milk and sugar and toilet paper and fucking headsets and notebooks, pen, mouse pad.
Are you that guy who steals the stapler at work?
100%. 100%.
Well, we found out.
I literally take the stapler and throw it in a hedge on the way home. Literally, that's what I'm like.
Give it to a homeless man.
Fuck a call center. Fuck a call center.
So you obviously don't work there anymore.
No. He's CEO at this stage.
Yeah.
Is that Jack's manager in the comments?
When they just snapped one day when they were putting together some documents with paper clips and they were like, right, enough is enough. Get that fucking red-eyed guy out of here. That was the end of it.
And that was the end of your call center career. I'm trying to act.
Fortunately for me, Jack, they all have revolving doors on them, and there's quite a few of them. So,
well, there's a massive turnover for call centers because people are like, "No, I'm done."
Exactly. I thrive in that deficit, you know, that fucking just hop into the mix there every now and then.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good for your psyche, but Jack, you're ready to hit the stage.
Fucking can't wait, boy. Can't wait.
You can't wait. Right, headliner, guys. Big round of applause. I mean, we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4. Jack Hourigan and the Macros.
Oh, Jack.
Go on, Jack.
How it is. What is the crack, people? We're talking about call centers. That has it fresh on the brain. And Jack mentioned earlier something about a seagull taking his phone out of his hand. And this story came back to me like a bolt. This is 100% true. A French guy started, right? When I was in the first call center I was in, a French guy started, and like my team were down near where the new people come in. So like the new group comes in and they're like right next to our desks, and then they get split up and divided among the sections and shit. And for a while there was a French guy there, and he used to bring his own mouse pad. You know, when you see a guy walking in with a mouse pad with a cool decal, you're like, yeah, he's gonna be fun to watch. So he used to be on the phone and shit, right? Shouting his head off and stuff. And he was like a fucking, like, you know, he was a topic around the office. Like, he was like, yeah, that guy's fucking crazy. I swear to God this happened. I go outside, right? Because you learn eventually you just have to walk laps at the car park. Otherwise, you're going to put your face through the monitor one day. So every break I get, I'd walk around the fucking office and stuff. And I saw him out in the smoking area on one of the picnic benches eating a sandwich, right? And I swear to fucking God, a pigeon came down and took his sandwich, right? He was like looking over here doing something in his bag. A pigeon came down and took his lunch and kind of flew like 10 foot with it. And I guess the pigeon didn't like whatever the fuck he bought with him. And he dropped it. And they had cut the grass that day. So he dropped it and the sandwich just collected wet grass. And the fiend just wiped it off and ate it. Can you imagine seeing that? I'm stoned in a phone call factory watching that. Like that's real life there. That happened. Like, I don't know. I think it's fucking unbelievable. Call centers are the biggest fucking circus ever. Yeah, I just remember that. It was fun. You also mentioned someone said something about the guards prank calling each other. That's another story. I got in the horror with my friends when we were all like 20. We pranked the guards all over the fucking place. I probably shouldn't say it, but we did. And like, I mean, there has to be, like, it's 10 years ago. Like, I have to be G by now. But fucking, we literally, and they were like, oh yeah, give us 10 more seconds and we'll know where you are. We were in a shed in the middle of fucking Waterford and nothing ever happened. And I'm probably going to get in trouble, but well, realistically, I'm not going to get in trouble, but I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to anyway. I pranked my father and said that I was like, hello, your son has been involved in a serious assault. And my father drove from Carrigaline to Waterford because I forgot to tell him it was a joke. Do you want to know why? Oddly enough, do you want to know why? Cause Buckfast. There you go. Talk about full circle. Isn't that weird? That actually occurred. Last thing, thinking of my father one time, right? I wore a pair of like maroon jeans or something. Like, they're like this actually. Whatever the fuck. They were like that color, right? A pair of chinos, and I'm wearing them, and I'm in his van with him, right? And we're driving back over home, whatever the fuck. And he goes, now I'm gonna ask you something now, Jack, and tell me the truth. He goes, are you gay? Because I'm wearing it, and I was like, what are you on about? And he goes, fucking, why are you wearing them pants? Literally said that to me, right? And like, I never considered it before, but in that moment and kind of since, I've been considering fucking riding one of his friends. You know, I would fuck off one of his friends. Like, you have to weigh up, right? Like, am I straighter than I hate my father? Do you know? I don't know. I've never, like, you know, is it worth thinking about?
Yes.
Like, I have a girlfriend and stuff, but like, I really don't like my father, like, you know? It's not a minute yet. I have a horn. Hey, they tell you wear a mask in Corona. What the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Please save me. Please save me.
Now we're gonna do one.
Yeah. Come on, Jack.
ADD.
You kind of rounded off the whole gig, didn't you? You brought up a bit of everything.
Yeah, man. I guess.
Hang on, I'm trying to get this. I want to see the comments. Oh yeah.
Can't wait to cry.
Let's see the
Can't wait
comments.
to cry later.
Oh yeah, Stephen is missed the South Park of mushrooms. He's fairly hitting the comments there.
Is that a joke?
Thanks. I don't know which Jack he means. I just presume it's
I think it's me because I gave him this shout out earlier.
Oh right, you were giving audience members messages. Well, the show.
Yeah, it's like a hostage situation.
So all this talk about call centers reminded me of one of my friends who works in London in a call center. Told me the guy who did Sulit Bang used to work there, and he used to try and put on the voice like, "Hey, would you like to buy a subscription for wine?" And when they'd go, "Oh yeah, oh my God, are you the guy from Still Bang?" He'd be like, "Yes, I am." It's no word of a lie. Now for you. That's the end of that. Right, I'm gonna end the show here. I'm gonna do a small little talk to the audience, just me and them. So let's get this link up. So, guys, thank you so much for listening and watching. I've been Jack Mack. We have got a link here if you want to buy us a coffee, because actually the show isn't free to do. The streaming thing, you've got to pay. So yeah, if you enjoy the show, because it is free, buy the Rascal Comedy a coffee, and you would help support the show, giving comedians the opportunity to perform during COVID-19. So, because we're the real heroes, if you really think about it, we're not. So that's it. Thanks so much. Let's say hello to the comedians again. Let's say goodbye, guys. Should we do a kind of like a wave, like bye?
Bye.
Pretty much.
Bye, guys. See you next week.
Teletubbies.
Bye.